All right,
Yeah,
you're back
okay.
into the game.
You know you've got like... We're talking about the net worth game here, Blitz. All right, you want to talk about the net worth game?
We're moving on from this.
All right, so I'm finally inside of the game and we can have some Dota sounds. So what's our last pick? Analyst.
For Vega Squadron, you'll take...
10
Vengeful
seconds
Spirit.
remaining.
What?
That's the hero. That's
Why
off
is-
the
5
Venge or
seconds
Witch
remaining.
Doctor. And if you're NaVi, you'll take
Reserve time.
Spirit Breaker Band. Dang. If you're NaVi, you'll take... What's something off the wall? If you're NaVi, you'll take...
I'm
Earth.
predicting Rubik for Vega.
Okay. Vega? Alright, I think it's going to be Witch Doctor, or what was the other one I said?
I'll do Rubik or Witch Doctor. I think Witch Doctor is the right
Witch
choice.
Doctor
You said
or
Venge,
Venge?
which
That's a
would
terrible
really
hero.
surprise me.
Alright.
Yeah, nobody picks Venge right now.
If I'm NaVi, then I would take... If I'm NaVi, I would take... You need some sort of instant stun initiate. I don't know. Something weird. Maybe Sand King.
Yeah.
Something
Sorry for you
really
guys in Dota TV. Alright. Dota's so bugged. What is happening? I just keep getting kicked out.
It's okay.
It's not okay, dude.
Alright. If you're NaVi... I'm not sure. Okay, it's Dazzle. I thought that hero was banned. Alright, NaVi needs an offlaner. Just do something weird. Pick Bloodseeker. Whatever. Funnock will be fine. I don't think there are a lot of options left over, though, for NaVi when it comes to offlaners. I guess we'll see. It really...
I go for...
Centaur? Sand King?
I was about to say Sand King.
Sand King
10
wouldn't be...
seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
Okay, now... We've got PSM playing the Lion, Dendy playing the Shadow Fiend, Havos is going to be playing the Gyrocopter, Seneko on that trademark Winter Wyvern, and in the offlane we've got Funnock playing that offlane Enigma, and that'll round out the squad for NaVi. In return, we've got, how do you pronounce it again? I know it's on SEMA. It's like it's something
Kuma.
really weird.
It's like Kuma or something like that.
Yeah. Kuma the Slayer?
Just let us know in Twitter.
Okay, cool.
Dazzle!
He's like Dazzle. I don't know why we're laughing. That's really messed up. Because I remember how to say his name and then I just forgot.
No,
I'm really sorry, guys.
I've had to look it up like 5 different times, and every single time I
30
forget.
That's pretty
seconds to
unprofessional.
Lena is... Solo's playing the Lena, we've got Pasha on the Phantom Lancer, and then Mag on the offlane Clockwork. So... Offlane Enigma. Strengths, weaknesses. Like, why are we going an offlane Enigma? We didn't have a whole lot left, but why him over this tank?
I think that we saw it in the game before. I think part of it is just you're trying to slow down the farm of the Phantom Lancer. and
The
it disrupts that
battle
a lot.
begins.
And if you look at Vega's lineup, they don't have
Stupendous!
the best ways, I guess, to deal with Funnick. And maybe they just want an offlaner that can get a mech this time around, and let Dendi get something like the Yule Scepter, or something that'll lead to a faster BKB.
Right. Okay. No, I especially like the item, like the item choice there. If you have mech on the Enigma and SF is able to build into like an S and Y build, and allow him to be a lot more stat focused and start working towards that late game item a lot sooner. Because I feel like you're pretty reliant on the SF to be able to go uphill against Vega Squadron. And you obviously need to try and end the game in a decent amount of time between the Storm Spirit and PL.
Oh yeah.
So I would yeah.
For me personally, what it really comes down to when it comes to late game is the mobility of your cores in fights. Like, that's what I'm talking about when I mean by mobility. That's why I really like heroes like Phantom Lancer or Storm Spirit when it comes to that type of mobility, because I know that when it comes to
And it's off!
Nothing to burn.
just because he's gonna have zero chance, right?
Yeah,
he's able to survive in this lane.
It's gonna be so hard to get CS. Against a gyrocopter, it always is. But he can always get experience, and that's the important part. Plus, it's like Battery Assault isn't particularly strong against PL or Storm Spirit, right? Because both of them can just jump outside of the cog, so you have no real guaranteed core that you're going to be able to lay Battery Assault into.
Wait,
so.
what? Storm and PL is on his team.
Oh, you're right. I'm sorry. I'm a little bit lost. I have to reconnect like 5 different times.
Okay, it's a good excuse. I'll accept it.
I suppose you have SF that goes BKB
No, you know, I'm
relatively
just messing
early,
with you. Like, I think you're completely right there.
PSM gets the first blood there.
That's pretty significant. Last game they had the opposite happen, where the offlane for NaVi had quite a rough time, but this time around, Mag's gonna be the first one off of that.
Seneko is just not leaving no one alone. He is into him constantly.
This is just... It's so annoying for a Storm to have to go up against this. It's just not pleasant. Because even if you know that you have a support there, it's so much easier for a Shadow Fiend and a Storm Spirit to be able to pressure, or a Shadow Fiend and a Winter Wyvern to be able to pressure than a Dazzle and a Storm ever is, like in a million years. Like, there's actually no...
Radiant structures are fortified. Radiant's top tower is under attack. Dire's bottom tower is under attack. Radiant's top tower is under attack.
And this is the type of game that you wanted to see from NaVi. They slow down the pace of it like crazy. Dendy's finally starting to really abuse this lane because on Storm Spirit, either you get aggressive at that point, or you can never get aggressive against the Shadow Fiend anymore. Like, there's a time period where you can kill him, but once you get raised once, the Shadow Fiend can just kind of hold his ground and beat you in a fight.
Lance goes down, trying to push back against Funnick. They go for the deny, but Pasha's still able to claim that tier 1 tower bounty. See, net worth-wise, what are we looking at here? Still the PL slightly ahead of the SF, and the Storm Spirit slightly ahead of the Gyrocopter, but nothing major.
A large reason for that too is that tower that just went down.
Yeah.
That's probably the biggest influence in that. And at top, Pasha is just...
His claim is very far forward. If, well, he actually still doesn't have enough mana. Even if he did Soul Ring to go for, like, the quick black hole with his allies coming in.
Yeah, Funnick just pops the Midnight Pulse there to check to see.
Yeah.
Like, I hope somebody's... one of them is still in there.
That's unfortunately not going to happen. Let's see. Ghost, Phase Boots, Ring of Aquila. Does he have time to do Helma Dominator and stack up the Ancients? Somebody's already stacked it once for him, but obviously you can't dedicate a support to do it constantly.
No, especially when Seneko has to get his level 6. And they're going to give it to him now by allowing Dendy to just go to the jungle. They need these types of rotations to come in, though. This is way too rough for him to not be level 6 by the 12-minute mark, which is around the time they're going to have the first item completed on Dendy. And it's going to be the Midas this game, and I guess that's fine because Vega's lineup is fairly passive. And this is an item that is really going to take advantage of that.
This is twice now that I've seen Dendy go for the Midas build on SF. I saw it yesterday as well. It paid up big time for Dendy. I mean, he had so many levels on the SF. It was pretty insane.
He's got a level and a half on the Storm Spirit.
And I think it's the same setup as well, where they have an offlaner that's able to go mech.
Oh yeah, that means that it doesn't really, they don't suffer as a result of this.
Yeah.
They might not even go mech on Funnick and just continue to further slow down the pace and just get a Blink Dagger on him. Probably don't do that. Mech is probably still the right option, but it's not the worst thing in the world.
Right.
More importantly, if NaVi don't get punished for it, this is pretty huge.
Vincire's got that Soul Link and a very large camp that he's gonna
Looking for me? Whoa, what'd I miss?
start working towards that Bloodstone.
He's gonna move through that one pretty quickly.
Well, Solo's got his level 6, so if he goes back to base and heals up his mana, he could actually rotate around and maybe get a quick Laguna Blade kill on someone.
I think they should start looking for opportunities to happen. You can't just let the this passive phase happen, especially when you notice that Dendi has a Midas. You want to be able to punish that, especially when your Storm's not going to be able to keep up one of those levels.
Oh, Hookshot's going to be able to get Seneko here, Mag. They have to use the cogs here for the last bit of damage. Never mind, they have easily enough. Seneko is trying to get over the cliff, but between the Battery Assault and the slow of the Storm Spirit, will be able to pick up the kill. Still, though, that was a smoke and a lot of mana burns by no one, as well as a hookshot used for just a support, so it wasn't that big of a loss for NaVi.
Yeah, especially since the Shadow Fiend just continues to get farm. He has a DD rune picked up at bottom.
Oh, I think he was going for the cogs pushback onto the cliff, but he's actually just making sure Dendi can't get through. Hopefully he'll be able to slow enough, long enough for no one in here. They will. They're going to be pressed out, and another easy kill for Vega Squadron. Already two. Now, DL, ultimate goes out. Almost not going to be able to reach him. PSM, though, still going to be able to hit this guy. Now, Funnick is here as well. Malphite, and the potential black hole. He actually got blocked up, and he didn't get off Malphite for some reason.
And Verbose now in some trouble as he's getting quite low, and that's a fairly big investment by NaVi as they rotate 3 heroes at top to kind of get something out of the Dendi deck.
Radiant's bottom tower
But they're
is
unable
under
to do
attack.
so, and now all of a sudden the Storm Spirit's net worth at the top of the leaderboard, and that's the type of pressure that I was talking about that you have to put on the Shadow Fiend, and it just kind of
Radiant
happened to fall into
structures
their
are
lap.
fortified.
And now they're even pressuring this tier 1 tower at the bottom lane. Nice light strike array just to open up those trees to see the rotation. And sure enough, Funnick is here. He's looking to complete his mech. Just another 200 gold before that's there. Seneko needs his Winter's Curse. Still a full level away from that one.
He needs it to be able to gank the Phantom Lancer. It helps so much in that regard, because you can set up black holes with it too, which is probably the most important thing. It looks like Funnick is a little bit hesitant to use it just to get it cancelled, or to use it just for support or anything like that, and getting the Winter's Curse off in conjunction with it would be pretty big.
Called out, just some pressure. Bonshot actually sees that one coming. Doppelganger's away.
Both taking some damage.
Gyrocopter. I mean, in full team fights, like, he's good versus the PL, but in this, like, 1 versus 1 laning matchup, he's just constantly being harassed by the Lances. And, well, they've got the
Dire's
mech
bottom
now,
tower is under attack.
but still gotta... I mean, I imagine NaVi still gotta wait it out for the Midas to start kicking in, for Dendi to have that first real item.
What I would really like to see NaVi do is, do they have level 6 on their Winter Wyvern? Yeah, he's really close to it. He's actually eaten the bounty rune, still a little bit a ways away, but I think they can start to get aggressive about now, because the Phantom Lancer hasn't had nearly a good enough start like he did in the last game, where they were just able to fight whenever they wanted.
Yeah.
This time there's going to be a build-up, so the hero is going to take some time to really enter the game, especially if he decides to go for this Boots of Travel build first. So I think it's on NaVi actually to get pretty aggressive here and just take advantage of the fact that Vega can't take you in a 5-on-5 fight. Like, there's actually no way that Vega should be able to win a 5-on-5 fight against a team that A, has a mech, and B, has the carry that can fight earlier. Like, Gyrocopter is so much more useful than Phantom Lancer in these early engagements.
At what point do you go Diffusal for the PL? Because I've seen many different builds. Some are much more farm-oriented. It seems like Diffusal is the item that you get once you feel like you have to fight. There is a Midas on SF, so that could slow down NaVi a bit, but there's still going to be a significant amount of pressure, especially around that 25-minute marker.
I still think you get the travels on the PL first.
Yeah, but
like, probably... I don't know, I really liked his build. Going for the travels into the Yasha. The Yasha just increases your farming potential by so much.
Yeah.
It's just so much free damage. The attack speed, the move speed, it all synergizes pretty well.
And then he went Diffusal after that, right?
I think that's fine. I think that's the build that you kind of want to go. Like,
yeah. I think that you're probably looking at, what, like a 30-minute Diffusal?
If they win like
sooner.
one fight, significantly sooner than that.
Yeah.
But it really depends, because I don't know if you can really fight into Navi's lineup at this point.
Solo smoked up. Hook shot is available from Mag, but it'd be pretty tough to lock down that Winter Wyvern by himself, so he's not going to go for it. Oh, still having so much fun with Pasha.
Yeah, he doesn't have
to go back to base soon.
Pasha's got one more lance available. Havos has used all of the stick charges. It's just going to force both of them actually to disengage and say it's not worth it. Meanwhile, everybody from Vega is invading the jungle of NaVi, and they're just making more efficient use of all the lanes. Like, they're taking a jungle and 2 lanes at the same time. Or 2 jungles and 2 lanes at the same time. Funnick in position, though.
Yeah,
this
I
is
think
a really
he's
nice position, too.
I thought he was going to stay inside there and pop out and go for the Malphite Black Hole, but I guess he just wants to keep the damage off the tower for as long as possible. Middle lane, are they going to jump him? TP away. Dendi is actually going to complete that one. Looks like they're going to go for a tier 1 tower push, so Vega Squadron can aggressively push in both middle and top if they just want to give up that tower.
They're going to go for the push, too. Like, especially when Dendi commits for the TP, they have to know that he committed for the TP too with the help of that ward. So this is going to signify to Vega, let's just do a lot of damage to that top tower. Pasha can just play super aggressively. We know where all their heroes are, and no one can just kind of skip these waves and get more farm more efficiently than everybody from NaVi can. Like, they're splitting up the wave. They're going to see the gyrocopter go down, and that might even alert them to fight because they know that the gyro is not going to be there for this.
Radiant's middle tower has fallen.
4-man keeps on going. The Eidolons are making this push a bit faster. Still, Pasha is getting some free damage on the tier 2 at the top lane. Now the TPs start coming in. Lena's going to be the first one out. Dragon Slave.
Radiant's top tower
Do some of those range creeps. The tower is almost dead, but NaVi, realizing that Vega Squadron have begun to back up, not wanting to fight underneath that tier 2. Not yet, anyway.
That was a lot of free space for Vega too, though. Like, they managed to pick up a tier 1 tower that was probably more important. Like, they got the mid one, and we've talked about the importance of the mid one, being able to keep control of your jungle, and those smoke ganks being a lot more potent.
middle tower is under attack.
And at the same time, Pasha just got a lot of time to farm. Even going for the drums. This might mean he skips the outro. Maybe he feels comfortable with the amount of stats that he has right now, but
yeah,
no one's gonna go for the split push here.
I'd be okay. Like, I think you have to go one or the other at this point. Drums or Yasha, and I think drums is like a little bit more stat focused, right? That allows you to be a bit better in team fights. So maybe he is feeling pressure from NaVi, you know, going for that tier 2 tower at the bottom lane, thinking NaVi may try and force like full-on team fights in another 5 to 10 minutes.
NaVi's gonna go for the Roshan as their next objective, and there's actually no way that anybody from Vega is contesting this. They probably are gonna scout here with this rocket, but it's at this point it's one of those way too late moments. They're gonna say, oh, yeah, crap.
Roshan has fallen.
They're gonna go for the Roshan. There's nothing we can really do about it at this point. You don't commit Mag to that. Like, last time they did, and he just died instantly.
Yeah, and that fight turned out real bad. That was the vacuum fight, wasn't it?
Yeah. And I think you just continue to go for the split push. Like, no one's getting so much out of this. He's almost taken the tier 2 tower down the top, too.
Now they found Funnick. He's not getting away. Dragon Slave will free up the kill, and Soul actually kind of needed that bounty, as he's going to be able to finish up the Dual Scepter now.
Tier 2 top tower has fallen.
Tier 2, Tier 1, NaVi just seems to be a little bit lost right now as to what to do.
It's weird because they have the Aegis advantage, and it's actually Vega that's getting aggressive all across the map. And NaVi, the Roshan is completely the right idea. That's a perfectly fine move, but they have to kind of start getting aggressive a little bit sooner now, because when you go for these 5-man plays for the last like 4 minutes that we've seen, you do start to get behind.
Zip forward, no one still has half of his mana left. But it looks like he's just forcing a reaction.
fully completed Bloodstone now too on the Storm. It's really fast. And a Yule Scepter for the lead. All the core items are coming out.
I can't believe they've still only taken one tier 1 tower.
With the line when they've got Enigma plus Mech.
Yeah. Enigma, Mech, I mean, SF doles out a pretty good amount of physical damage. Like, maybe you don't push as early. Oh, jump in. No one's just making that TP play. Zips right past them, TP back to base. NaVi, knowing that, are going to quickly push in this tier 1 tower. May even go for more. Still have that Aegis advantage.
Because you know they can take this way.
Dire's
There's
middle
no
tower
way.
has
And he's got
fallen.
2 lives, he's almost got a BKB. You've got so many different items on the side of NaVi that are meant to fight with. Like, Havos now has his BKB coming in too.
It looks like they're going to fight soon, though. They're not going to give up the tier 2 tower.
It's a positional game right now. I'm just throwing out rockets.
Snako sitting on a similar hiding hole, waiting to be able to get that counter initiation Winter's Curse. But Vega, I'm sure, just looking to spam the enemy out, not forcing the pull-up fight, as you said.
Just trying to create time. That's all you have to do. You've got more mobile cores than NaVi. But NaVi, again, they've still got a Shadow Fiend with the Midas who continues to scale. I just feel like it's not hard enough right now. But he does have the level completely unlocked like you talked about.
Level 13. Compare that to everyone else. Yeah, he's 2 levels ahead of anybody else.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Significant right now. It's NaVi. They're going to start to pressure all the tier 1 towers, and this is the plan.
Looks like they may be able to picture the Storm Spirit. Senego's just trying to buy himself time. Winter's Curse off before. No, he's going to be double stunned up. And that means no Winter's Curse to hold in the SF as the rest of NaVi come forward. Looks like they'll be able to get Mag, though. So it's still a decent trade-off support for an off-laner, and they will be able to take this tier 1 tower. Sad thing is, though, Pasha split pushing the hell out of him. He's got the tier 2 at the bottom lane alongside Solo, and they're just going to keep going until NaVi start TPing back.
They just took a tower out of
Dire's
that.
top tower has fallen.
That means they can't continue to go for it, and the Storm, yeah, it was just support for an offlaner, but it gets a Bloodstone charge out of it, and he just continues to take so much of the time from NaVi, where Vega wins that trade every time, right? They get a tier 2 tower out of it, they get a Bloodstone charge on their Storm, and nothing of value is lost.
So, a little bit of a late TP actually allows him to dodge that race. No one's still going for the Orchid. Seneko. He may need some, he may need TP here. Otherwise, Pasha just would have known him.
Everybody comes in now, and Vega just continues to split up the map.
They will have Blink Dagger soon on PSM. That'll add a lot more catching potential for NaVi. That's the thing. It feels like right now, Storm Spirit is hardly even scared of the line without that Blink Dagger. It's just like the Winter's Curse into some of these other disables that would cause him issues. But the just natural low range of the Lion.
Yeah, same with the Winter's Curse.
Yeah, it's
you
not
saw
great.
No one got chased by the gyro rocket, and he doesn't even bother rolling. He's like, "You're gonna give up on this before I roll."
Yeah.
And the
And
Aegis is
Solo is very rapidly approaching that Aghanim Scepter. With all the free space that he's getting in this bottom lane, like, he's constantly being the one to split push.
Dang, you're
Because
right.
Even if they gank him, right, it's not going to be that valuable. Are you going to rotate?
It's Alina.
Yeah, you're going to rotate 2 or 3 heroes to try and shut down the support?
You got more down
He actually grabbed PSM, but there is Havos there, so he's going to have to force that out. Does get hit by the call down. Storm Spirit actually comes in, finish off the line with another TP ball lightning play. Mag, well, got some distance thanks to the Yule Scepter out from Solo. Light Strike array will also land. They are saving this clockwork. Throws out a cogs. He'll have a force staff here in 4 more seconds. The missile's going to land first. And maybe they can still get him. Funix,
It's a short one though.
getting close. TP out. Malphus, are they going to be able to get in time? Funix sees him. Malphus just in time. Still, though, he created so much space. Look at this. NaVi, they've got 4 members all inside their jungle. Meanwhile, this top lane is almost pushing into the tier 3 tower.
Yeah, and the Storm just continues to farm, and he gets a pick off there during that engagement, and the Phantom Lancer just continues to get farmed. Things aren't that bad though for NaVi. They still have SF that is completely overfarmed, and they've got one of the best mechanisms in the game at just flat out winning you a game. If the Enigma is able to get even a decent black pull off, like this game is completely turned.
Vega Squadron not going to give up this tier 2 tower without a fight. Mass rotations occurring. They know someone has to deal with that top lane. That someone is PSM right now.
He has to get his Blade Dagger. Yeah, like, they have to devote everything to it right now.
Oh, but look at this. Does no one have the burst damage?
Oh,
because he could feel pretty safe, right? If he had the haste, the Hex won't actually control him that well. So he can jump PSM, especially if he jump. Yeah, he'll be able to get the pullback remnant, and that is surely enough damage. Oh, he actually managed to get it off the Hex. No one can still run it down with the ball lightning, though. Meanwhile, bottom. Ooh, there's the shallow break. Dazzle keeping himself alive for a bit longer. Guilty's not getting out of this one. No TP away for him. Pasha quickly rotates up to the top lane, seeing still so many heroes from NaVi at the bottom lane. Continue to try and split push NaVi to death.
It's a testament to how farmed Dendi is and how well he's playing too, that despite all of this happening, and how much space is being created around the map and how many tier 2 towers he's taken, that he's still #1 when it comes to network. Yeah. Like him and Havos are doing a really good job when it comes to
Funnick! He's gonna have to turn around a black hole if he wants to live through this one, but not in time. No one hits him with the ball lightning once again. Manages to get out.
Pasha might... Oh no, he didn't get caught by the stun, and this is bad because Vega are just kind of straight up disrespecting NaVi. They're running into their base past the tier 3 tower, and there's no real response that can happen, and they even want to maybe look for Dendi here.
Yeah, and that could probably hook shot and just force out the BKB. Oh, completely missed that one. He was hoping to catch Dendi as he was TPing out, and then if he if he stopped the TP, then all he has to do is stall up Dendi long enough for his team to rotate into that tier 3 tower.
Everything being taken right now by Vega as they just continue to farm. Dendi's doing the same. I think they're just waiting for that one big fight, or that one big engagement, and then NaVi can just get really aggressive on the map, because it only takes that one fight. And when it comes to net worth, NaVi is actually not that far behind. Like, they're only behind by 11 or like 1,500. That's almost nothing. They can still definitely win this game. It's just the map control game that's a little bit brutal for them.
There it is. Finally the Blink Tagger. Maybe this item will turn things around for NaVi. Dendi's still going for the SNY build.
And it's up!
There is no rush whatsoever. Mag just needs to be able to occasionally go for a pickoff. I like the 4-staff build because it makes it so when he hook shots in, he's not committing fully.
Over here now!
And especially against some of these heroes like Gyrocopter or SF, very dangerous close quarters. He can just go and essentially like maybe stop a TP, 4-staff out. Just create space, as much time as possible for his split pushing
middle
PL.
tower is under attack.
Do you only go for the Blade Mail if you can get it so quickly that it makes it...
Yeah, you gotta get it ahead of the BKB and Gyrocopter. Snakeo's gonna be orking it up, and he will fall. Looks like his damage over time. Dragon Slave's actually the killer. Mag, turnaround, will be there for Dendi. Vega Squadron back out. Once again, trading an off-laner for support, but... Oh, PSM jumps forward. Can he get more? Gold Scepter. Soul's actually going to try to kill, but he gets the life track already. No one comes in and kills, but instead, Soul ends up going down to Dendi. But no one still had plenty of mana to be able to escape. And again, Pasha's just keeping that bottom lane pushing, while the top lane's still sitting right in front of the tier 3 tower. If they want to go for this, PL may even boots a travel. No, he's going to boots a travel back and try and fight. I just figured he'd go straight up to the top lane immediately.
I think they want to see if there's any potential, because it's still a 3v5 fight, and the Stormseer can just roll in from pretty much max distance, and Pasha just goes in and out.
On jump, most will be pulled back. Oh, the bug hole misses! Funnick! He tried to grab no one, and now the PL is going to run rampant. Oh, maybe not. He's actually going to be stunned up and focused down pretty well to get the kill. No one comes back in. Has the ball lightning back out, though. Havos and Dendi are still strong enough. He's got 14 charges. So fortunately, his mana regen is high enough that he's still able to jump away, but that should create enough space for NaVi to be able to take this Roshan. I really thought the PL was going to do a lot more in that fight. But
he can't be the frontline tank. That was just too much damage.
Oh, PSM! Ooh, he managed to stun up solo, and Funnick just barely survives through that Laguna Blade. Dual Scepter. Dazzle knows there's no saving this lead. Even if he could get off the Shellgrave in time, he'd still die anyway.
They're trying to buy space right now for the Storm to maybe even go in and steal the Aegis.
This could be, if Storm goes in though and dies to the Winter's Curse or something, that would be a game loser. There would have been such a dramatic, I mean there already is, that's about, what, a 2,000, 3,000 gold swing coming in?
I don't think
And
they've
about
used it
5,000
experience.
experience.
I haven't seen the Winner's Curse this game.
Yeah, I haven't either.
Most of the time it's him getting initiated on, but like you said, the Phantom Lancer, once the Black Hole gets dropped, I think you just completely decommit and wait for your entire team to be up, because at that point there's no way to
Oh, no one. Winter's Curse is there as well, so yes. Very definitely yes. Not only a kill in the Storm Spirit, but they also prevent the Bloodstone Suicide, so they get that unstoppable streak to Seneko.
And that's why, even if you think that's overkill, you don't want to give up.
Seneko, you're gonna have to pop the... Oh, never mind. He just picked up that Glimmer Cape.
Yeah, it was as a result to the Storm kill that just got like 900 gold instantly.
Yeah.
Everything right now going well for NaVi, especially after that last fight. You thought it was going to be a disaster. I did too. Then all of a sudden, they just have enough damage to deal.
How do you tell? How does Dendy know? If he gets it point blank, he won't one-shot the Storm Spirit, right? But how much damage will he actually do?
Oh, what I miss?
Really?
Yeah, I think at this range it does. I think you can kill him.
Okay.
Which is why he was looking for it initially. If you're like point blank right on top, you've got the level 3 ulti too.
Unfortunately, that Invis rune will not grant him the opportunity to pick off. He's still a good 2,000 gold ahead of both the Storm Spirit and this Phantom Lancer. Item build, though. Where do we go from here? Because I'm still kind of questioning, like, do they have enough to deal with the PL? I know it's like we saw in the last fight, PL just got blown up, but that was also an awkward engagement where PL was completely alone.
I think you just get butterflies in everybody.
Yeah, just to deal with nice PSN blinks in, they found the real Pasha, and they blow everything they have to make sure he stays down. This means now a 5-man push uphill. They've got the Aegis. They might as well use this advantage while they have it.
Everybody from Vega, they were just playing such smart Dota. They were really reserved. They were waiting for opportunities, but after that mid-fight especially, was what just completely
Radiant's
turns the
bottom
game
tower
around for
is
them.
under attack.
When they kill Pasha, and now he's starting to play a little bit out of position and not really going for that perfect split push like he was earlier, now all of a sudden he's 0-2 and 1. And it just turns around back quickly with NaVi. They take advantage of this, and again, this is a lineup that you can't really mess up against. This is such a strong 5-man
Radiant's
lineup.
bottom tower is under attack.
So he can't even get that ball lightning TP damage
Dire's middle
on
barracks are under
NaVi.
attack.
They commit. It's going to be a full committal here. They're going to jump in and back. They've actually managed to lock down PSN. Meanwhile, the Black Hole gets laid up, but again, it doesn't catch anything at all. Then he pops Yieldsman, but the rest of that squadron can actually retreat it. Now no one goes back in, trying to lock down Dendy. Cold break on him. A lot of damage. He does still have that Aegis as well, so I'm not sure targeting Dendy is really the right decision here. Matt comes in from behind and just gets a really good disruptive set of costs.
Meanwhile, at bottom,
stuck in the same area, but you're right. Soul's actually just going to catch the entire time. Also going to have to back up. What's going on? Down Dendy. He's now going to be targeted by Pasha. Clips him back instead as he pops that BKB to deal with the diffuser blade. He's going to have to TP out in time. Good Cooper Caveman's well. He managed to just take out the melee rags at the bottom lane.
I was wondering, I was like, where is their Laguna Blade? And I was like, oh, he's just casually hitting a tier 3 and taking down the racks.
Fiery Soul.
One and a
Like, he doesn't even have that much intelligence. He's only hitting for 114, but Fiery Soul, give him the attack speed he needs to clear through those buildings.
That's if that type of play ends up winning the game, I mean, all props to Soul. Because the trade wasn't even that bad. They didn't lose too much. I don't think they lost either of their cores, right? Like, the Storm Spirit doesn't die there. The Phantom Lancer doesn't die too. That's pretty even when it comes to engagements. Like, that's... You lose a Rax that you expect to because of the Aegis. And your Phantom Lancer being forced to buy back. But Butterflies are flying in. You've got a host who's got a fully completed Scotty, a Butterfly on Dendy, so now they were having trouble dealing with him before. Doesn't get easier now.
Still a NaVi. immediately start 5-manning, and they can actually go from taking the range Rex in middle straight to the bottom lane if they want to try and even out what Solo did at that bottom lane.
Alright, so...
Certainly have a big Butterfly advantage, and Butterfly's so good versus his team, right? PL doesn't usually go for an MKB at all. Storm Spirit, like, you have to go pretty late in the game for Storm Spirit over an MKB, right?
I don't even know if it's an ideal item, unless... If both of the cores get a Butterfly, then maybe it's an okay item, but there's still items that the Storm can get. Like, you can still get a Hex, a Lincoln Sphere to deal with the Winter's Curse, which is looking more likely. Yeah, he's got that. Because he knows the only way for him to die, really, is if he gets opened up on by the Winter's Curse, or the Lion comes in with the Hex.
Right.
So by doing this, it's incredibly more mobile in these fights. And this Phantom Lancer, once he gets a Scotty too, you'll finally start to see him being able to tank up and get into fights.
Ooh, Lincoln's now.
I think Vega should just kind of avoid getting into fights and slow down the pace and do what they were doing.
Is this Solo, is this him actually going for a refresher? Third item? Or is there going to be a Lotus Orb?
Lotus Orb
They already
would
have a
be-
Lincoln, so...
Lotus Orb would be sick. Just because there's nothing the Winter Wyvern could do against the Storm
Yeah.
in that case.
Yeah, he'd have both Lincolns and Lotus Orb on him.
Yeah, I think that isn't a bad option in this game. Refresher might be too difficult to get off twice. Like, we've seen it time and time again, right, with a lot
Yeah.
of Linas, where you don't
In
want to
fact,
hard commit for that.
I think I had a game yesterday. I remember Eternal Envy and I having this conversation about Refresher Lina.
It sounds good on paper.
Yeah.
Like, oh, 2k damage, pure nuke. No, it never works like that.
Our PL's still trying to finish up that Scotty. He is pretty far behind. This is where he was once growing funny. That much-needed Blink Dagger finally coming in to be able to get a kill, a black hole that meant something.
I think the lean is going to go down too, yeah.
Yeah, with PSM coming in from the other side, they will sandwich this before Redhead. And that Finger of Death was certainly not necessary. That is a long cooldown ability, and also very costly in mana. Why did he do that?
You got to get your dollars, man.
Okay, well, now he has nothing, or at least no Finger of Death, to be able to deal with this top lane push. Vega Squadron, Noah, and our Dazzle both going for the push now.
Is there any TP on the side of NaVi? Actually, they have a TP on everybody on their team, and they're actually going for it pretty quickly, but there's no blip on either side right now, and it looks like they're just going to go for a straight-up trade on both sides, and then just defend their last racks. But you got to kind of give the advantage here to NaVi, because they could just go for that top one.
No, they've got the tier 2 tower still up.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah, so this is actually a really smart trade, because they can even go to the bottom lane and take that exposed racks, the range racks that's still left on the Storm Spirit.
Okay, this means that NaVi has to get more out of this.
Yeah.
And it looks like they're just kind of...
Which the answer is going for tier 4s. And is that really a play? Oh god, they're going to be fighting against the Storm Spirit in the tier 4 area. Storm Spirit already jumping in, going for PSN, and joining him up after the blink, and there goes the Laguna play to wipe him out. No one jumped around and able to stay away. Dendy now off that ultimate. The rest of Vega Squadron start backing up. No one's dropping low, and he will finally go down. Here's the Buyback. Buyback comes back in. Host-on managed to lock in too. Well, no one goes for Dendy in the background. No one should be able to win this fan fight against Dendy. Mag meanwhile saved by the Shadow Grave. They're just controlling both close and Funnick now. As Josh comes in to clean up that extra kill. No one goes in for the last surviving member of NaVi. Seneko will fall as well. You got your tier 4 tower, but what a great team fight it was for Vega Squadron.
And that trade just benefited Vega so much. Like you pointed out, there was nothing that NaVi could do except go for the 1-for-1 trade because of that pre-existing tier 2 tower at the top, which I wasn't even aware of for a second. I was like, okay, NaVi probably have a game plan around this fact, but that's just a straight-up trade, and then it turns into even more because that's a 5-man team wipe that just happens for Vega. They do have to commit the Storm Spirit buyback, but that's not even that big a deal.
We're in that potential Roshan spawning time right now, but Vega Squadron, they would have been so happy if Roshan was up right now, but it's not up for another minute. You get a free Aegis off of that after the buyback on the Storm Spirit. I think Vega Squadron just would have been set to win the game from there. But we are going to have a battle over Roshan most likely. Scotty's now finished for our Phantom Lancer. Does he have enough for a buyback? 400 gold. 400 gold in a few seconds, and we'll have it. Guardian Greaves now on the Enigma. Gyrocopter working towards an MKB. Or maybe the all-in Divine Rapier, we'll see.
Okay, so if you're Storm, I think Shiva's or Hex is okay. Probably the Hex, and it is going to be the Lotus Orb for the Lina, like you talked about. That's a really significant pickup, in my opinion.
Yeah, if they can actually reflect back the Winter's Curse, that'll be huge. Even some of the minor abilities, such as, like, Rocket, Hex. Like, just imagine Gyrocopter, like, puts Rocket on the Storm Spirit, and all of a sudden, like, halfway through a fight, a Rocket comes out of nowhere and plinks him and gets that, you know, decent duration stun that he's not expecting.
This is a really weird position for both teams because you want to go for the split push if you're Vega, but the Tier 2's tower also stands in this mid lane. So you're probably correct in that it's most likely going to be a bo3 fight that determines whether Vega can actually accomplish this or not.
Ooh, we've got one smoke up for NaVi in 12 seconds, and Vega Squadron. None in the shop, but they do have one on solo. Yeah. So they could actually both go for a smoke engagement, and we're getting pretty late into that Roshan spawning time, so both teams got it.
Might just go for this is big so far, right? They're going to be able to burst him down before any turn, maybe not. He gets on the BKD, call down comes out, unexploded. Oh, he had the block hole ready to go, but there was no more damage out. Now Laguna plays Funnick, desperately looking for something, but he can't get it. A complete whip once again on Funnick. Kasha, meanwhile, did he take another shot, right? PSM was hoping to be able to target him, but now he's completely out of mana. Enigma, Denny, doppelganger away. Can he actually get out? Pasha, right click one, right click two, 15 minutes, 28 minutes, he's still gonna live. Now Funnick's gonna go down solo. Madly right clicking away. Won't be able to stop that TP out. No one cleans up the kill finally. And in the end, Pasha lives. And that was a great fight for Vega, but him living just made it all the better.
And you got so many Bloodstone charges on no one. The Roshan is up at the same time. And there's no way they can commit any more heroes to this Roche fight, because if they lose the fight outside of the base, the game just ends. And so there's going to be a free Aegis.
How are they so, like, how is the most so separated from his team? I think because both teams knew that was a very critical, like, pick-off period for you to be able to get the Roshan advantage.
It was probably just a call that he was thinking to himself, I'm way too tanky, so there's no way they commit to this fight, and Denny's got to travel up. So worst comes to worst, I get initiated on, we can counter-initiate. It was just the fact that the Storm goes in at the same time as the Clockwork, who nailed the hook shot, and that stun period, like that 1.5 second stun duration was enough for them to just lay into him, and they didn't even have to commit to Lina ultimate to it, which was the most impressive part. And you just saw NaVi and weren't able to hit enough of their spells. And now it's Vega getting quite aggressive. They got a cheese on Pasha. He has the buyback available, so it's essentially got 3 lives to work with. Your Storm Spirit has an Aegis, 12 Bloodstone charges, and it finally completes the BKT on top of that.
Pasha's already down to half HP. He's got the Lotus Orb placed on him. Storm here. He's jumping, waits great for Sineko, making sure there's no Winter's Curse, and looks like he's going to try and bounce out. Pasha eats the cheese, and will be back up to full HP. Magnus kill shot. Denny don't want to play. When they finish off that, going for that kill, but now the Storm break starts healing Denny back up. But it comes forward, doesn't have the black hole on the left-hand side, still trying to stop Sineko with another Orchid. Ramos fights him off, though. Aegis is down. And Sineko, will he finally be able to trap no one? Looks like no, Wickens, they get it! The Winter's Curse locking down no one. No, but that shallow grave keeps no one alive. Solo popped, oh my goodness, he popped the smoke to be able to dodge the last couple of tower shots. That would have finished him off. They give the PL, the rest of Vega Squadron on retreat, though. And they do have a buyback on PL.
Yeah, and this Storm Spirit is just zipping away, trying to get away from this. I actually think the move is just to run into it. And he's also got a Lincoln, so there's like no reason for him to have to worry so much, but that was just Vega not really knowing how to commit to that fight. It just felt like they were kind of lost. They're like, how do we really take this fight properly? And there's no real way, because NaVi have a pretty decent high ground defense squad. And on top of that, your Storm Spirit is really effective in that open area where he can look around the map, survey, he doesn't have to worry so much about getting 5-manned. But when it comes to those high ground pushes, and there's a Butterfly on the other team, and there's just tanky heroes left and right, you've got a Glimmer Cape on your Winter Wyvern, and you've got the Cold Embrace available for him too. It's just way too difficult for him to isolate anybody out.
Right. Let's see, Dendy He's got 2,500 surplus, so he's actually not that far away from completing Daedalus and still having a buyback.
He's a walking monster right now.
He is 24,000 net worth, still 4,000 ahead of second
Dire's
place.
top tower has fallen.
All thanks to that early Midas.
This might actually just be go time for NaVi, as they know the Phantom Lancer doesn't have the buyback. They know for a fact the Storm doesn't, and the Storm just finished a BKB, so if they're aware of that, then they should feel alright about this, because Havost fully completed MKB, no buyback on him, but Dendy's the main hero that you're looking out for right now.
I mean, I feel like they should wait until the Daedalus and buyback. Just because that if you get that larger critical, you can actually threaten heroes like the Storm Spirit and PL so much more with the very limited number of right clicks you're going to get on them in the first place. But man, Funnick desperately needs to hit a black hole to end this game.
It's kind of crazy that NaVi have still managed to like hold in this game despite the fact that they haven't been able to get a lot of winners curses off or that Enigma black hole off.
Yeah.
Like I honestly feel like that's really significant for these fights.
Did your Dota just crash?
Mine just like paused.
Storm Spirit doing another one of those zips away. Dendy's got to be real careful when he's on the front line because there's so much burst damage, especially with that level 3 Laguna Blade.
And right now, things are so tense. We don't want to screw this one up. You don't want to just give the game back to Vega right now. He worked so hard to build up this position.
Yeah. The bottom lane is pushing in pretty heavily, though. They continue this for another 2 minutes. They're going to be losing their range racks at the bottom lane. It's not the biggest deal in the world, but then range racks, next thing you know, tier 4s start being hit.
In a base race scenario, NaVi probably wins. I think they have more power than
Yeah, I would say definitely.
Storm doesn't do enough right click.
Storm doesn't do enough right click in PL unless you're hitting creeps beforehand and you're able to amass a significant illusion army. It doesn't proc off of buildings, right? Juxtapose?
I don't know, dude. I'm pretty bad at these kinds of things.
Are you not a PL picker?
I'm really, really not. He's like weird mechanics in Dota, like I can't think of off the top of my head.
Let the fun begin.
No one's just zipping in and out. He has BKB plus seconds. He feels perfectly fine about this.
They keep on clearing through the creep wave before it gets uphill.
I'm trying to buy time right now for, and no one finally has his buyback. It's now in play.
Immediately repaired by Cold Embrace. Oh, this late Cold Embrace is such a strong ability.
Dire's middle tower.
That's 6% per second.
Still down to speed. Yeah, Solo's almost halfway there when having his ult back. Probably bigger than that. No one has buyback. It's so huge for this defense. If they can repel NaVi here, they could actually just head down mid and force a buyback on their own.
Little by little, they're chipping down this tier 3 tower. Smoke up, Vega Squadron. Looks like they actually wanted to make some sort of initiation.
There's the weave. There's no way NaVi wants to fight under the weave.
Yeah. Do you force the fight outside of your base if you have the weave advantage, though?
I don't think so because BKB's right. Oh no, actually a jump in. No one goes into the back. Funnick pops BKB in time and now presses forward in order to get that black hole. Black hole only gets on Solo. Meanwhile, no one cleans out the Winter Wyvern. No full right low. Ultimate either. Now as that goes down, Hamos is left all by Explosive to try and battle this one out. He goes ahead, TP's away underneath that BKB, lasts
Just long enough so he doesn't get hit by the cogs. But he just lost all of his allies in that attempt. Vega Squadron. They seem to have planned that team fight out to a T. Jumping in like every single time, man. I would be so annoyed if I was Snako. No one is just jumping every single time after the Winter Wyvern.
It's honestly the weave that completely destroyed that fight for them.
Yeah.
Like, nobody had armor. The side heroes just went down immediately. And after that point, it's just so hard for them to fight. The Lina ulti goes down on Dendy. He's got like no HP to deal with that anymore. He has to try to run at that point, but without any lifesteal, without any heroes to back him up, like the Winter Wyvern going down, no chance that they can get into that fight. And that's what I'm talking about. They just waited for the weave to continue to tick down about halfway, and they knew in the middle of that engagement, they were just going to destroy.
Radiant's middle
Vega
tower is
Squadron.
under attack.
Now pushing into tier 3 of their own. Lucian's getting cleared through pretty quickly thanks to the callback. And you know it's very distinct lag.
Pasha needs to shot frame. It's going to be done in back. I think it's going to go shot for him. He does have a buyback though. Ramos needs to try and get out away from the Laguna Blade. Double buyback out. Can Vega Squadron actually get away? Sinego's here. Can he get the Winter's Curse? He locks down Pasha. Plus another 2. Now Funny comes in to the side. No black hole. Pasha gets saved off by that downgrade, but can he doppelganger away to the right direction? He actually goes for a both. Doppelganger something. Cliff Money is there waiting for him. Trying to get those right clicks. They finally get him in the end. They take down Pasha at the very least, but Vega Squadron forced a couple of buybacks there.
This is the GG push. You have to go for it.
Regeneration.
Dendi was about to respawn in like 5 seconds, but he had to buy back there for his team to be able to win that fight. Maybe it was like 10 seconds, but not enough time. But there's a buyback available on no one, so you're going to have to deal with 2 of those.
Oh,
has 1 too.
The Roshan, but it's not up. No, they're actually going to blink over, trying to get solo on the side. TP away, he's out.
So awkward now because you don't have buybacks on any of your cores. I think the Gyro has one, but it's probably more important than the SF does. And that's what they're trying to go for right there, but
Yeah.
drop your treads, get an Aegis, and then go all in for it.
So Clockwork, Winter Wyvern, and Shadow Fiend do not have buyback. Everyone else in the game does.
It's the SF that matters the most, though.
Yeah.
Especially for NaVi.
Especially with all the crazy amount of single target damage that Vega have between the Laguna Blade and no one committing for the Shadow Fiend. They could just jump all and take out the SF and then just try and back out.
Alright, if you're NaVi, you pretty much have to play around either this Roshan or you just back up, take things out. If you're Vega Squadron, you didn't have to use your buyback on pretty much anybody, actually. Like, the Phantom Lancer wasn't even forced to buy back there.
Nope.
That's really significant.
NaVi were they probably knew that PL had buyback, and especially with Storm Sphere and Clockwork, right? You can't just push, force the buyback, and back out, right? That's never going to work. So you know there's going to be a fight, in which case you're a bit too scared to take on a full 5 versus 5 right now. So they're really desperate on Roshan respawning, but it still is not up, and Vega Squadron are very rapidly taking back control of the map.
The Storm continues to get another major item soon. He's got 5100 gold. So, in a short period of time, he'll have another item on top of buyback. Can even go for the Hex or the Shivas here. He just wants to continue to go for the AoE play, then the Shivas is fine. He's done a fine job without the Hex, but it does help when they're trying to isolate targets out. NaVi are just gathered around the Roshan area because they know something that they have to fight. He's sneaking into a creep.
Careful there, Hibos. Remember the last time you were farming up that middle lane. No one. Be fortunate rune for him. Regeneration. Laying. Oh, he's gonna go in. Dinego once again is gonna be the target. He's trying to finish him up. BKB activating just to make sure that Dinego does indeed come back up to this middle lane. It might try right black. Oh, it might just save Timmy. He pops it. BKB on Pasha's image is still enough, and Pasha is able to claim the kill that was most necessary for Vega Squadron to be able to win this game. But can they still win the fight? He's battling up against the most. Now goes to PSF, gets that kill for both TPs away just in time. But now it's a 3 versus 4 fight is what they're left with, and it looks like an Aegis on top.
Yeah, and this is going to be an Aegis or no one. That'll give him 3 lives. And he's got 20 bloods on target. It's closer to 4 lives. He's got a cheese as well. And NaVi don't have their Shadow Fiend, so... And the mid lane is pushing in too. So all you have to do, get this roadblock, you'll get a free cheese, you'll get a free Aegis too. Your Sorcerer has pretty much 4 lives to work with right now, especially if he gets 1 or 2 kills. During that time, he almost instantly respawn, sell his treads, and go for the travels. And that is going to be rough to deal with. Am I thinking about this right? You've got Aegis, you've got a buyback, and you've got your Bloodstone. Yeah, that sounds about right.
Oh man, Pasha. He's just too big. He's got the cheese on him now, so even if they do somehow manage to lock him down, they don't have black hole in there. I don't know, NaVi's chances just seem so small.
You have to give up this Mega Creep.
Yeah.
And wait for Dendi to come back. There's
Go
actually
for
no
an all-in
way.
play.
Yeah, there's no way that you win a fight 4v5.
They do have a gyrocopter. Oh, okay. He was pushing in the top lane. I thought maybe like Mass TP top or
Radiant's bottom
something.
barracks has the
Try and take
now
mega
have
creeps in
mega
return.
creeps.
No, Vega's too focused right now. Bacon Sun's Blood. This is twice now we've seen in these qualifiers where a team just starts off really hot, dominates game 1, and you're thinking to yourself, okay, that's all. I guess the series is going to look like that, but Vega battling back from that 1-0 deficit.
They're waiting for their opening. They've got Mega Creeps. They've got plenty of time. All they have to do is make sure they don't screw up their opening. And they go for the initiation. Mag has an Invis rune. There is a counter ward that spots him out. Another one.
Rocket Mag. It's a little bit too late. He has been seen now. They're going to jump in with no one. Rocket out of both. His Mako light strike around. He still have to pull him. He's still be able to save him. Heal him back up. He has the BKB going as well. He'll be able to get some of those flat-handed shots. No one lines with that loaded sword. Edge of the to try. Finally does go down. Pata targeted by the ultimate there. From Nessie to Celebrate. Can he get away? Cheese heals up. Back to full. No one goes deep into the fountain. And they take out the gyrocopter. He couldn't even heal fast enough. Now Pata just manages to dodge the SF ultimate. No one goes in for more. Locking out PSF. Lincoln's protects him for the time being. Denny's right click's not near enough. Now buyback of the gyrocopter. And Vega Squadron got what they wanted out of that team fight. Jump in. They're still going to be able to get that one. Actually, everybody back. Denny's still back in the background. Now no one is going to be the target of the Hex. Funny also going down. No black hole available. Does have a buyback from that soon. Most. They could always buy back, and Funny could come in 10 seconds with a black hole. So once again, Vega Squadron waiting on the clockwork and then Storm Spear.
You just, if you're Navi, you leave one person behind, and you just try to farm this pre-wave up, and the rest of them just go down and start to head for the GG push, because look how hard it is for them to fight. Like, even Dendi with his 6-slotted item build can't really hold up against all of these creeps. Like, it's only really Hopos that can really do it, and even he's struggling quite hard, and you're not going to be able to just hold, especially if Vega just decides to go for what they're doing right now, which is continuously pressuring. So Dendi, or Navi, actually just going to have to win a fight and then immediately rush down, leave one person behind to defend, but I don't even know if this is going to be an option, because instead of Vega just waiting for the Mega Creeps to do their job, they're actively helping them and getting them.
No one jumps into the near side. The flags on the Dendi was going to blink, and he's gone. He does have a buyback though. PSF quickly run over my Pata. Next up, Amos trying to chase away something. Getting kill on anybody. Dual Scepter. He's actually going to be able to survive now. Amos into trouble. No one comes back in. There goes Amos. No buyback. Black Bolt knocks down the sword here, but he immediately buys back and is on his way. Mag is trying to interrupt as much as possible. Slows down Funny. Denny gets off the ultimate. With their first turnaround, Mag is the target, but no one's already come in. He's blocked down Denny. Denny has no buyback. Funny's going to fall as well. Navi 1 by 1. They're all going down, and sure enough, both sees the writing on the wall. GG is the call. Navi are going to be knocked out of the ESL 1 New York qualifiers. Vega Squadron, the team to move on after losing their first game so very badly.
And that's a really impressive victory, just because you get knocked down that hard, and everyone's like, oh, you got stomped, and they just kind of ignore it, tune it out, and say, we'll clean out the victory. And Vega Squadron, really good play all around. There was a time period where the mid-game looked a little bit shaky, but, I mean, they just had the better decision-making when it came to the split push. Like, when Solo decided to take a Rax by himself, I don't know if... I feel like if one person TP's down there, like, he's just like, I can't do this, I'm a Lina.
Yeah. Wow, Vega Squadron, 55-minute game, but they are going to be moving on. We have another semi-final coming up. It is going to be another very interesting match. Ninjas in Pajamas versus Team Empire.